Hello there, and welcome to the Liverpool versus Fulham preview. And do any of us currently have hope that Liverpool can pick up a win against the 18th placed team in the league? Do we or don't we? I'm not entirely sure where I stand at the moment myself, and I'm hoping by the end of this video that I'll have somewhere that I can sort of like place my head. Where am I? What mountain am I gonna die on? Which mountain am I gonna die on? Is it gonna be Liverpool have got no hope in this game, or Liverpool have hope in this game? Now, people might look at this and think you're talking about Fulham. Fulham made it difficult for us the last time we played them. I think we actually drew the game, if I remember rightly. I don't think we played a good game when we played them the first time this season. And in my opinion, Fulham, like, their performances are way better than the results that they get. And their passing moves and attacking moves and the way that their players attack as well is actually quite exciting to watch. Actually quite good to watch. Now, I watched Tottenham versus Fulham before our game because I wanted to see what Fulham looked like. And Fulham looked like the better football inside over the course of whole 90 minutes. Obviously, Tottenham got the goal. I think it was Dele Alli got it from across from Son. And it was a nice move, it really was. But I felt that Fulham's build-up play was a lot better. It just didn't have that cutting edge. And it also, they weren't, given much space to work within in terms of Tottenham's defence. Now, Fulham are going to be coming to Liverpool, who will give them pretty much the freedom of our own half because of the way that our defence and everything seems to line up. So it's going to be a really difficult game for Liverpool once again because we will not change our ideals, whether we agree with it or not, or whether we agree with that mindset of we're not going to change how we play, we're just going to keep on going and we're going to work harder and we're going to work harder and we're going to work harder. I'm not stuck on Skip, but honestly, everything is just like we need to work harder, we need to work harder, we need to do this better, we need to work harder. And we need to make better decisions in decisive moments. And it's like, okay, well, how are we going to do that? We're going to work harder. And it's like, okay, like, I don't like to say it, but I'm half on the side of just going from a doubter to a believer that's sort of having some pretty big doubts at the moment. And I don't like saying that about this team. I don't like saying that about my club, and I don't like saying it about Klopp either. But there's just some things that just are not working for Liverpool right now that I'm hoping for the remainder of the season somehow we're gonna even something out and maybe make a challenge for the top four. But I just don't want this season to go out like with a I don't know, I can't even think of the word. I don't want this season to fizzle out like it seems like it's going to. Like I don't know. I really don't know. That's just my opening gambit on this one anyway. We do have some bad news to start with anyway. Ozan Kabak is apparently not going to be able to feature against Fulham because he's picked up a minor injury issue. So the centre back conundrum continues once again. Now, let's talk about Liverpool versus Fulham first of all. I want to look at Fulham first. Fulham have got not a bad, set of form at the moment. They've come up against some tough teams. They've got some results that didn't go their way. Some results that did go their way. They were able to beat Everton 2-0, and it was impressive. It was very, very good as well. They beat Sheffield United, draws to Crystal Palace, Burnley, to West Ham United as well, and also to West Brom, a loss to Leicester, and also a loss to Tottenham. Now, I said I watched that Tottenham game, and I felt that Fulham actually deserved at least a point because they were actually really, really good in that game. If I can get this game up and see if it says what we've got in terms of creation. 11 shots, 3 on target, and they had all of the possession. Now, this is Tottenham. Tottenham don't hold possession all the time. And to be fair, I didn't actually realise that that goal had been given against Adarabayoyo, if that's how you say his name. I didn't know it had been given as an own goal. I thought it came off Dele Alli. But regardless of that, these guys play good football. And I'm telling you now, the players that are in my mind that are that are dangerous players. I think there's 4 players that I definitely think are Ademola Lookman, unbelievably dangerous player, quick, good turn of pace, good agility, very, very good player. Josh Meyer or Marja, who came from, well, I know he came from League One, but I know he was at Sunderland at one point as well. Looks like a very good player as well. Had a goal disallowed. in this game against Tottenham as well. Harrison Reed played a hell of a through ball, and he's got a good eye for a pass as well. He's going to be someone in midfield that I think could make a difference for these guys. And Anthony Robinson, left back, because he's always looking to maraud forward. He's always looking to cut inside as well and add himself into that midfield, going even into attacking midfield as well to find the likes of Ademola Lookman and Marja, or whoever else they might play up front, whether it's someone like a Mitrovic or anyone else, Bobby Reed, whoever might come up front for these guys. They're going to want to, try and get the ball to these guys. These have got some dangerous players, some quick players as well. And the way that they play football, it's all about getting the ball on the ground, pass it, move it quickly, and you move as well. You make a pass, pass and move, pass and move. Everything is pass and move. And they really do play quite good football. They play better football than most teams. Probably play better football than us at the moment, to be fair, if I'm being totally honest with you. So am I confident in this game? I'm not, if I'm honest. Our run of form, especially at home, suggests nothing about us winning this game. It all depends on how we set up this team. Let us get into that right now, because I want to talk about my team. This is the team that I want to go with for the weekend. Some people will agree with it. Some people won't agree with it. I don't want to say sick and tired, but I want us to get away from, now that Fabinho's back, now that we've got some centre backs in as well, I want us to get away from putting midfielders in defence. It's not something that now needs to happen all the time. And especially when we're losing control of games in the midfield, and like I've just said about Fulham's midfield as well, you say whatever you want about Fulham and where they are in the table, but the football that they play doesn't lie. And when they come up against the right opposition that will be open for them, that will play a high line for them, where they're able to use their quick players to get in behind, we're going to need people in midfield that are going to help us win the ball back. And nobody in our midfield, like last season, nobody in our midfield did that better than Fabinho. We so miss that quality in midfield from him. Been brilliant as a centre-back, but I want him back in midfield. I want to see Ben Davies getting a chance and Nat Phillips back in the team, as per the words of Klopp as well, should be ready. So let's get these guys partnered up for our 20th centre-back partnership of this season, which is ridiculous to say. But it is unfortunate that Kabak looks like he's going to miss out. Let's get Ben Davies in there. Klopp says that this guy needs to cut. He needs to adjust. Well, I'm sorry, but we need to get the guy in. We need to get our midfielder, our best defensive midfielder, back into midfield. Because honestly, I think a lot of people's asses are going to drop at the weekend if it comes out, team lineup comes out and Fabinho's at centre back, and the midfield has Thiago and it has like Wijnaldum and stuff like that. And I know I'm missing out a couple of players that people would think, because, and that is something that I didn't think of, and I've only just thought of right now, is that Gini Wijnaldum probably will be in the team because he's the fourth captain. Whether that happens or not, I don't know. But I feel that this midfield needs Naby Keita, it needs Fabinho, and it's going to need Curtis Jones or Gini Wijnaldum. It's going to need them. It really will. And it's going to need some of the hardest work these guys have put in for quite a while. Let's not forget about the fact that these guys are definitely tired. They're definitely suffering from fatigue, both mentally and physically. These guys will not have seen this season go in the way that it did when we were crowned champions in the way that we were last season and how dominant we were last season. They will not have seen this season coming, not by a mile off. But having said that, these guys are going to have to do what they probably don't want to do and push through mental and physical fatigue and try and get to the end of the season in some way, a salvageable season, getting into the top four. Whether they can do that, I don't know. I feel that this midfield gives us everything that we need. Grit, determination, good defensive qualities as well. Good at moving the ball forward, good at spotting passes through to the front three as well. Now, I've made big changes to the front three, and I'm going on the last game as well. I felt the two biggest misperformers in our front three in the last game against Chelsea was Bobby Firmino and Sadio Mane, and yet it was Salah that got subbed. Like, I don't agree with that. I don't think that that's how it should have happened. I felt that Mane was actually the guy that should have got subbed, and Firmino probably wouldn't have been far behind, to be honest with you. I think that this front line, I think that Shaqiri, he needs to be getting more game time. He needs to be getting more game time. The quality of his crosses, the quality of his passing, and just the different sort of things that he brings to the table that Mane isn't right now. And Mane is well off the boil. Well off the boil. And that's no offence to the guy. He's been brilliant for us. But he's well off the boil right now. Needs to be taken out and put on the bench, in my opinion. Shaqiri, I don't think whenever he's played for us in recent times, I don't think he's done anything wrong not to warrant at least a starting place somewhere. Somewhere. And I'd love to see him in there. And Jota made an appearance from the bench. I want to see him back up front. I want to see him in that position right there. And I do. What could probably happen is that Jota goes to the left-hand side and Firmino starts up front. But I'll be quite disappointed if that happens, to be honest. Because Firmino's drawing blanks as well. And I don't know. I think we keep talking about freshening things up and using all these different players and stuff like that. And then we don't actually go and do it. Let's go and do it. Let's go and get these players in. Let's go and use Jota. Let's go and use Shaqiri. You could even go into that back line if you really wanted to be ruthless and put Nico Williams in at right back instead of Trent Alexander-Arnold. You really could. Because lately, more so, well, definitely this season, for sure, he's not as defensively good as he was last season. Even then, people have always said he's not a very good defensive player, but he's been helped out a lot by his defensive back line, which was Gomez, Van Dijk, and such like that as well. We don't have that this season, and maybe it is exposing a lot of the defensive deficiencies that Trent Alexander-Arnold has. Now, I'm not saying that Nico Williams has those qualities, but he's a damn sight quicker than Trent anyway. So he could get up and down the pitch probably just that little bit quicker and have a bit more recovery pace. That could be something that we could use. What we also need to be seeing in this game as well, this is my lineup, let me know what you think of it. What we need to be seeing in this game as well is better use of substitutions. I won't come back to this game a great amount of times because I just don't want to look at it. But this Chelsea game is where I felt we used a couple of substitutions that we didn't need to. We're obviously chasing the goal, we're chasing the game down. We bring on Oxlade-Chamberlain, Milner, and Jota. Jota's the good one, but we could have been bringing on Naby Keita, could have been bringing on Shaqiri, could have even thrown on Divock Origi, but I probably wouldn't have. But these two are the substitutions that I would have liked to have seen. Oxlade-Chamberlain's been good for us, but he's not right now. And Milner, while he can, I just think the 80th minute substitution was too late. He would have made more of an impact a little bit earlier, but he couldn't make that impact because I felt that 80 minutes coming on just a little bit too late for him to get going in that one. We need to see better substitutions. We really do. Fulham are going to bring it to us. They really will. These guys, no one is afraid of us in the league. That is just a fact. No one is afraid of us anymore in the league. And I just think we need to go out and punish these guys. But these guys are going to try and do the same to us as well. And they've actually got the tools to be able to do it. Make no mistake, the fact that they're 18th in the league, I don't think it doesn't matter. We're 7th in the league. We're 7th in the league. And we don't look, and West Ham and Everton have a game on us as well. So top 4, it does look like a highly unlikely thing to happen. It just does. We just have to take it a game at a time. Said this in videos before, but we need to take it a game at a time and just hope for the best. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. But I'm not positive about this game. I'm really not. And it sucks because I love being positive about Liverpool. I love thinking that we're going to go out there and get a win. But if we set up the similar sort of team that we set up against Chelsea, we're probably not winning this game, in my opinion. And that is just my opinion. If we set up how I've got my team set up in that formation I showed you before, I think it could freshen the team up just a little bit. Maybe give it a little bit, people making the correct decisions at crucial times in the final third. Maybe we might get a little bit more of that. I think this game's going to be a draw. At best. And I'm literally just telling you my thoughts. I'm not lying to you. I'm not doing anything for controversy or anything like that. I'm just telling you my thoughts. I think we're going to draw this game at best. I think there's a chance that we could lose it. And it's because of how open we are at the back. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. And I hope, at worst, it's a 1-1 draw. But it could be worse. It actually could be worse. And I really hope that it isn't. I hope we go out there and win. I hope with all my heart that we go out there and win. I'm just not entirely confident in it. So, Let me know what you think in the comments below anyway about this game. How are you feeling about Liverpool versus Fulham? Because as I said before, I'm not feeling great about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please do have a wonderful weekend. Whatever happens with the football, try and have a wonderful weekend. Please do take care of yourselves. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you once again, and I'll catch you later.